welcome back to a Fresh Perspective on Business podcast. I'm Vicky Taylor. I'm the manager of Fresh Perspective Resourcing. We are a recruitment business with a twist based in Chorley, and I'm joined by the lovely Laura Leyland.
Hello.
Hi, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And to the people that don't know, new listeners, I'm the managing director of Fresh Perspective. As Vicky said, we're a recruitment business, but we're with a twist. We operate very differently to traditional agencies, really being that employment partner of choice for our customers.
Lovely. Are you doing okay today?
I am doing okay. I'm a bit confused as to what day it is because we're recording on a different day than we normally do. So I feel like I'm a bit out of whack, but I'm okay.
Yes, I'm confused. You brought the pugs into the office today. They don't normally come in during the week, so we're all out of whack, aren't we?
A little bit, but it's okay. We're going to go with it.
Yes,
I just wanted to make sure, just try and keep you all on your toes, really.
Exactly. Always thinking in our feet. It's fine. This is how we work best.
It is. We're thrown in at the deep end. Having to think quickly and respond to situations is what we do at Fresh Perspective.
It's what we do best. But today, we are going to be talking about the importance of proactive hiring for the new year.
Yes. We're always banging on about being proactive with your recruitment.
Yes.
Which I think you should be with most things if you can in business. I know you can't always be proactive with recruitment because sometimes unexpected things will happen and people might resign. And so you have to react to that situation. But where you can, please be proactive.
Yeah, and it feels weird talking about the new year when we're in November, but it will come around very, very quickly.
Yeah, it absolutely will. And the reason why we wanted to talk to you about it, because we're bringing you with probably one of the most important tips of the year when it comes to recruitment, early November. What is it, the 8th of November?
Yes.
And the reason why we wanted to talk to you about hiring now for January is not because we're crazy.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
Just a small amount. But we know a thing or two about recruitment. And a lot of businesses want people to start in the new year. But also a lot of businesses and people within those businesses make the assumption that people are not looking for jobs in November and December.
Which is very wrong.
I mean, it's been a while since I looked for a job, but I don't think I've ever had that thought that, it's November and I'm going to start looking for a job. Because if you're looking for a job, there is a reason. It doesn't just go away for 2 months because Christmas is coming.
No, when I applied for Fresh, I applied in December.
Oh, you did? And you love
November.
Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking about getting a new job, so there's no reason why I shouldn't. Better time as any.
Yeah, so it didn't occur to you, hang on, and although I've been looking for a job, it's December, therefore I'm going to start looking and wait till January.
Exactly, because that would be silly.
It would be silly.
Yes.
Because the reasons why people move jobs is, I don't know, they want progression, they want to feel valued, they might be leaving a toxic environment, or they might want more money. Those reasons don't go away.
No.
Just because it's Christmas.
They're probably more relevant at Christmas. I want to be happy at Christmas. And if I'm not feeling all of them things, I'm going to be get me a new job.
Yeah, okay. This is good then. I'm glad you've confirmed what I felt as a candidate. So then the reason why we're talking about this today is because we don't understand why people then assume, because they'll have looked for jobs once themselves, why they then assume that candidates are not looking. Therefore, they aren't going to look to hire in November and December. They're going to wait till January. And then what happens in January, Vicky?
Is everyone then wants to hire someone. You're on the back foot and you've probably missed all the best talent.
Yeah, and you're literally going to have to fight to the death in January.
Yeah. Because
the candidates that are left in January will have a lot of options. So many job opportunities, lots of businesses vying for their attention. And so it can push salaries up. It can mean that the people that you've gone through the recruitment process and wanted to hire don't accept, so you have to repeat that again. Therefore, you might only be able to get people in February or March. And it also means if they're on a notice period and you start looking for them in January, they're not going to start with you till end of Feb, early March at the earliest if they're on a 4-week notice period.
Yeah. So yeah, you're going to be on the back foot if you leave it till that time.
Yeah. this is why we need to be proactive.
Exactly. And we're going to give you all the reasons why you should be and all our top tips. But before we get into it, we nearly missed out the most important part of the podcast.
The single most important part of the podcast.
So we're actually on number 220 of the podcast. But Laura is going to tell us what that is in Spanish, please.
Episodio número 220.
Oh, lovely. That was a nice, easy one. That I wish I could have done that one. I always get the hard ones.
Oh, yeah, you might. What is the next one? Will be 21.
Oh, I can do
not
that.
Too bad.
Yeah.
The 20 is not too bad. It's the 16, 17.
Yeah.
So a lot of letters.
Yes. Yeah, that was lovely. Very good.
And for those of you that don't, well, I mean, I'm not sure anybody knows why. Unless you've been with us since the beginning, all 220 episodes, you probably don't know why we say some things in Spanish. But it's because my sister, who's my business partner, and was the brains behind creating the podcast, we have Spanish alter egos with each other, and we just speak in Spanish or with Spanish accents. Don't ask me why. I mean, you can, but message me on LinkedIn.
Is it not for the podcast?
It's just stupid.
We're not stupid on the podcast, are we? Okay, we can't speak about that.
It came from Desperate Housewives. The spin-off of Desperate Housewives is Devious Maids. So it's about the maids with the rich people. Okay. And they're either Puerto Rican, Mexican, Latino. So they speak to each other in Spanish. And I don't know why, we just loved it. And so we also created Spanish alter egos.
And you're very good at it as well because you lived there for a while, didn't you?
I did. I lived in Barcelona for almost one whole year.
Yes, so that's why you're extremely good with the Spanish
Well,
accent.
it just sounds like I am to people that can't speak it.
Oh, really?
Just taking it.
And the Spanish no, that's wrong. You are very good. We need to go on our team holiday to Spain.
It does come in handy when we go to Spain. Not so much France.
No, it's very different, isn't it? It doesn't translate over, but yeah, we can get through in Spain with your Spanish knowledge. Okay, so should we go through what the importance is of proactive hiring for the new year?
Yeah, let's add that value right now and bust the myth.
Yes.
That recruitment stops in November and December and that you should just pick it back up in January because it's incorrect.
Exactly.
So, if someone wanted a new hire to start beginning of Jan, so come back after New Year, when would you suggest they need to start hiring?
Now. Now. Correct. It would be now. I don't think people realise how long the process of recruitment takes. It isn't just click your fingers and you have someone in place. You've got to get your adverts together, obviously advertise, go out and search for people, go through a lot of CVs. Fingers crossed, if you put an advert out, you might get a lot of responses. You're then going to have to go through the CVs, find out which ones you like, contact these people, screen them, hopefully first. You might have 2 stages of interviews. We'd recommend 2 stages of interviews. You've got to fit in your availability, the candidate's availability. They might have to get time off work. Sometimes they have to give 1-2 weeks notice to get time off work.
Very good point.
Yeah. All this is time racking up. And then when you finally get there and you offer someone, you have to take into account notice periods, which could be, normally is 4 weeks, but we have a client at the moment, don't we, who's offered someone a job and it's a 3-month notice period.
Yeah, so I think she managed to get it down by a week, so she's still only starting on the 13th of January.
Yeah, and he hired her a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you never know, and obviously you don't want to sacrifice the best talent just because of a notice period, because you've left it too late to hire them.
It's always better to have too much time to recruit.
Yeah.
Because you can push things out if you need to. So we had hopefully a new client came in to see us last week, and they are being super proactive because they've had a bad experience in the past with maternity leave. So one of the team has then told them that she's happily pregnant, and they didn't start to recruit her replacement until it was too late. And then they only had, I think, a 2-day window where the new hire could do a handover with the lady going on mat leave.
Wow.
And she's like, it was really stressful. She's like, I know it was a stupid idea, but we just didn't think. So she's like, I want to learn from that. And so this time, we've got someone going off in I want to say May.
Okay.
So she's been super proactive.
Love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, is it too soon? I'm like, no, it's absolutely right to talk about it now because you can plan it in. So say, when would you want someone in? She's like, end of March, really, because then you've got at least a month for a handover.
Yeah.
She's like, maybe sooner. So I was like, right, so end of March. So you need to have your offer out latest end of Feb, but that's possibly too late, just in case they are on longer than a 4-week notice period.
Yeah.
So really, you might want to offer them end of January. So really, you need to start looking in a few weeks.
Yeah, pretty much now, getting the ball rolling.
Because if I said to her, if you hired someone really quick and you were ready beginning of January or even before Christmas to make an offer, as long as you tell them at the beginning of the recruitment process, so as soon as someone applies and you screen them, you let them know when you're looking for someone to start. So you're setting that expectation so they continue with the interview process knowing that they're only going to start this new job in March. You might offer them December, January. They still know that even if they've got a month's notice period, they still know that the start date, unless you can take them earlier, is going to be then. So they will just delay resigning.
Yeah.
But it can all be fitted in, whereas you cannot create more time.
No, you definitely cannot. We do find with a lot of clients when we ask them, when do you want someone in? It's always, yesterday.
Like,
I know, funny, but we're not miracle workers. We can't get someone in that quick. I mean, we work quick.
Yeah, we're really good, but we're not magic.
No, we're not.
Sadly.
Yeah. So you do have to think about these things in advance. Be proactive with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want someone for the beginning of January, I mean, you probably should have started in about September, but...
yeah, you probably should have started at least a week ago.
Yeah, but we could still do something for you now in November.
And it could work. So our average fill rates are usually between 4 and 6 weeks. So it can take less time. We have actually filled a job in... What's the quickest we've ever filled one? Like a week?
Yeah. And we do fill quite a lot of jobs within like a 2 week. It depends what job it is. Depends how niche it is. How flexible you are. There's a lot of factors with it, but yeah, we can fill jobs in 1 to 2 weeks.
And that also depends on if our clients come back to us quickly with CV feedback, they move to interview quickly, there's not much of a gap between first and second interviews, and then once they've done the second interviews, they make a decision and offer. Like, it can take 4 weeks or less.
Yes.
It can take longer. It could be if candidates change their mind and drop out the process. It's nobody's fault except maybe the candidates. That can elongate it. Delays with availability, holidays, gaps in between interviews, blah, blah, blah. All extend it. And obviously that's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you know it's going to happen. But so if everything went to plan and your recruitment process, what Vicky outlined before, from creating your job description, writing your adverts, searching for people, blah, 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 screening, interviewing, offering. If that took 4 weeks and you started today, it's like get the calendar out.
Yeah.
If you started today, so that's 1, 2, 3. So that's the 6th of December you'd make an offer.
Yes.
And then they're going to serve a 4-week notice period. Happily for the people in this fictional process, for this example, and they might not. So they would be leaving on the 6th of January. So they might agree with their employer not to come back after Christmas because no point coming back on the 2nd for a few days.
Yeah.
So they might be okay with the 2nd of January start, but it's tight.
That is very tight because you haven't got really any room for like buffers there, have you?
No.
For dropouts and things like that. So yeah, it's tight but doable.
It's doable, but then that's if they're on a 4-week notice period. If they're on 2 or 3 months, you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the candidate drops out, changes their mind, something happens in their personal circumstances, and we've had all kinds of sad situations happen, which means people have had to just pause their job hunting process. Or people not showing up to interviews, or on day one, it doesn't allow for any mistakes.
No, and then you've got to think of your business as well. So if you're a business that maybe it ramps up just before Christmas as well, like the time that you have you got time in December to be interviewing, or should you be doing that in November, ready to be starting?
Yeah, because it's a shorter month as well.
It is, and obviously, like, it depends what business you're in, because some people get quieter at Christmas, and it might be the best time for them to be doing interviews in December because they've got a lot of spare time. But if you're a business that gets super busy, you probably don't want to be doing interviews then. You probably want to be doing them in October and November.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yep.
And also, if you absolutely cannot hire November and December, or you only want to start a campaign in January for a February start, I don't know, you're going to think, well, you're going to say it because you want people to work with you right now, which is true, but we would always give the best advice. And our advice on that situation would be to start advertising before Christmas or over Christmas.
Yeah, we find our adverts do really well in the period between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
Which I know you wouldn't think that people would be applying then, but people got a lot of free time. They're sat around. Maybe if you have that bad anxiety about going back to work, you might be starting worrying about it on Boxing Day. Like, I don't want to go back in January.
Oh my God, yeah.
So while you've got a bit of spare time, you're like, I'll have a look on Indeed and see what there is. And because not a lot of people think about posting then, your advert's just there at the top and they're like, I want to apply for this job.
Yeah. And as well, if they are anxious about work, having a lot of time over the festive period would make them more anxious. So they feel they need to take action to make themselves feel less anxious. So that's why they'll look for jobs.
Yeah.
And also, like Vicky said, they've got more time on their hands, but also it's a really reflective time of year for people. Like, they're reviewing, I don't know, New Year's resolutions gone by. Have they hit them? Probably not. Setting new ones. It's reflective, and new year, new me, new job. People start the gym. People make changes at that time of year, and we work out generally in a normal every day, week, month of the year. We work out the best day for every advert to post it, considering the job itself. Oh, Penny's popped head around the podcast.
Bruce, we're just there as well.
Penny, my pug. I just saw something in the corner of my eye. What was I saying?
Oh, Penny.
Oh, yes, we work out the best day of the week to post a new advert. It can vary, but we're not going to give you all of our secrets away if you've not listened to a previous episode. So we work it out, and then because you want your new advert to have the most impact it can do out the gates. So we optimize them, making sure that they are seen by as many people and rank high, a bit like SEO on Google. Well, we do the same for that over the festive period. So we work out which day over the Christmas break, not Christmas Day, OBS, might not be Boxing Day, but we look at the period of time in between for the best day for an advert. To have most impact, and they are one of the most successful times of the year. Is that advertising campaign over Christmas, and then you come back in on the 2nd of January, smug AF, because you have got all the best candidates in your inbox, and everyone else is just starting.
Yeah, exactly. Our inboxes are full when we come back after Christmas. We have so many CVs to go through because we put a big chunk of adverts out, don't we?
Yeah.
Like, if last year is anything to go by.
Oh my goodness. Before we finish for Christmas is bonkers.
Yeah, I remember like that week leading up to Christmas, we were just writing adverts.
Even I was writing adverts.
Yeah, there were
like,
so
I've not
many.
done this for a while.
There were so many adverts that we needed to write and get out for our clients because they'd taken on board our advice and they were like, I need someone early next year, so I'm going to advertise over Christmas. And we were like, hallelujah, people have listened.
But they all, but then a lot of them only decide that in the few days before Christmas, and you're like, oh, mother of God.
Which is why it's then panic mode for us to write all these adverts. But it's nice that people actually listen and it worked out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we do that over Christmas. You don't need to do it. You give us information. We'll have our project kickoff call, brief the team on what you need, and that's it. You can go off over Christmas, chill out, eat mince pies, drink mulled wine. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
I've got a hot tub in my mind because that's where I was last year.
Oh, lovely.
And we will do it for you. We'll launch your ad campaigns. We'll launch your social media campaigns. Capitalise on that period of time. We'll come back after New Year and get through all the hordes of candidates that have come through to our lovely ad campaigns. And then when you come back after Christmas, you get a gift from us. Some lovely candidates ready to interview.
How nice is that?
Oh, my God, so nice.
Oh, yeah, because you think, Christmas is over, and then bam, we're there in your inbox when you get back with lovely candidates for you to review.
Oh, and we're nice like that. Yeah. And then you can be really smug because your competition are stressed. They've come back after Christmas. They can't remember what their job is because they've drank so much mulled wine. They're like, oh, my God, we need to write an advert. We need to get it live. Why is nobody applying? All these candidates are not coming to the interviews because they're accepting offers elsewhere because the market is crazy. Yeah. And you've stolen all the best ones.
And I think it gives you that time as well to not make rush decisions if you're ahead of the game. Whereas when you're doing it in January and you're like, crap, we need to do this now.
Yeah, we need someone in by this time.
You make the wrong decisions, you're under pressure, you're stressed, you're just making snap decisions. A bit desperation probably kicks in.
Just someone in the job and it's may not be the right person.
Yeah, exactly. And then that would mean if it doesn't work out, you've got to then go through the whole process again a little bit further down the line where you've wasted a lot of your time. So it just makes sense to give yourself the time. Do it early so you don't have to face half of these problems.
Absolutely. And then the ripple effect of those problems is massive.
Yeah.
Hiring the wrong person can then impact the culture of your organisation, the feeling within the team. It may not sit well with the values that will impact the rest of the team. They might leave. They might be stressed. And then that will decrease your productivity, decrease the customer service, increase your absences potentially. Yeah. The problems they just don't stop. No. And I think people forget, they're like, oh, you just need to hire someone, recruitment. There's no skill to it, blah, blah, blah. You don't need any qualifications. And like, no, you don't. But there is a skill to communicating with people and assigning the right people to the right culture, questioning people, listening. There's a lot of skill to attracting and screening candidates. And recruitment is absolutely vital. Like, without it, you can't grow your business. And without a good recruitment campaign, you will waste your time, waste your money, impact your customers, your bottom line, your existing team. Like, the problems of a bad recruitment campaign aren't to be laughed at. And I know we make jokes about the recruitment industry and how people feel about us, but if it's not us that's doing it and you're doing it yourselves, you just need to take it seriously.
I know, you need to do it right. You need to take on board tips and hints and maybe go and look at our YouTube or something, because it isn't as easy as just throwing together an advert. Like, it takes skill to write an advert and get it right and get the keywords in there, and like you said, like SEO and everything like that. You can't just shove a job spec on Indeed and hope for the best. It takes skill, like you said. You have to work quickly, and obviously if you're a director but your main job is to go and get sales, you're taking your time away from sales to do recruitment when you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because it isn't just let's ring this one person and this person's going to be perfect for the job. People don't answer the phones, people drop out. You need to speak to a lot of different people to even maybe see if you're on the right track with what you want, because I think sometimes people think they want a certain thing and then they speak to people and they're like, maybe I'd rather have a bit more of this than that. So
if you're giving yourself time to make those changes, it's okay.
Yeah.
To change your mind about what you want. But if you've not given yourself time, then you're going to make it more difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
And something triggered then when you were talking about like SEO and things like that. And like if you wanted to get leads from your website, you don't just shove up a website.
No.
You don't just shove content into it and hope that the leads will come.
Yeah.
And they might come, but they might not be the right leads. So why is it? I know a website is very different to recruitment, but your adverts are still digital. You still put them up online, a bit like you copy on your website, and you will most likely engage with an expert to design and develop and create your website. Then someone, if it's not the same person, to launch an SEO campaign to make sure you are bringing the right traffic to your website and therefore getting something from it, which is usually leads, therefore new customers, therefore more money. Why is it different when it comes to recruitment? It's the same thing. You want to hire people. You need to attract them. You want the right people. Then you need them to come to you so you can speak to them and then you can bring them on board to service those customers that you found through your website. Like, it's still as important, but, I'm just going to shove an ad out on Indeed. I'm just going to shove this or do that, or it'll just take a few days. It's like, people don't attribute the same importance or value to a recruitment campaign as they would a web marketing and SEO campaign.
Yeah, it's very true. That.
One is to attract your clients, one is to attract team members to look after those clients. So they should be as equally important as each other.
Yeah, and I speak to a lot of clients as well who maybe they have got a good advert and they've put it out and they've had a lot of people apply to their advert, and then you'll speak to them and like, they've just been sat in my inbox for like a week. I'm like, are you joking me? A week? They've been sat in you might as well have just not bothered putting that advert out. What was the point if they're going to be sat there for a week? Like, you need to move quickly. Like, when you put an advert out, you need to be reviewing the CVs that have come through regularly. Daily at the least. Because
oh my God, yeah.
if a good candidate comes through, you need to jump on that and just get in touch with them, because there will be people because people apply for more than one job. They may just have applied for your job, but they're probably applying for numerous jobs if they're not enjoying where they are right now. So there'll be someone out there who they've applied for the job and someone's seen it straight away and rang them and got them in for an interview. And because you've sat on it for a week, you've probably lost that really good candidate.
Yeah, and their first impressions of you aren't going to be positive because you've not responded to them. And their first impressions of how you see them are not positive because they're like, oh, they don't value my application enough. They don't really.
Yeah.
And that's how you've made them feel without meaning to. But the other company that's possibly contacted them faster has made them feel the opposite of that. And then they might have had their CV sat in their inbox for a week. And they're like, okay, we'll be inviting to interview in 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, I'll bet a pug on it right now that those people will not show up to your interview.
No, they've probably got another job by then.
Yeah, so we've got it covered. I'm like, okay. So then I'll make myself a note and get back in touch with them in 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, how did it go? They're like, well, you didn't go very well. I'm like, oh.
Shocker.
And they're like, please, can you help? But we need to hire someone ASAP. I'm like, oh.
Yes, okay.
And then it leads me. Oh, I could talk about this stuff all day. You can probably tell. But Vicky's saying that candidates won't just apply to one job because why would they put all their eggs in your basket and hope that you come back to them? They spread their risk, and find as many opportunities, put their eggs in each one of those opportunities, and hopefully some of those will contact them, some of those will interview, and then more than one hopefully will make an offer, and they pick the best one. Why then? The clients not think the same thing.
I don't know.
They think, oh, I've got an amazing candidate in its second stage. That's it. I'm not going to look anymore. I'm going to take my adverts down. I don't need any more CVs. I don't want to do any more interviews. And you're like, this is slightly crazy because the candidate's probably not doing that. And then if the candidate accepts another job, then you're back at square one. And again, if you've not been proactive with your recruitment, you're going to be in a sticky situation. So it all starts with proactivity, and it all starts with taking your recruitment campaigns seriously, people.
Yes. Especially at this time of year. This is a crucial time of year because it's like you said before, people reflect around this time. So now is the time to bag the best people.
Oh, yeah, it really is. Give yourself a Christmas gift.
Yeah, exactly. Make your life easier in January. Not right. I love my job, but no one likes coming back to work after Christmas, do they? No. When they've had so much time off, you've been lounging around in your pyjamas, you've been drinking all the wine, just sitting looking at your Christmas tree. That's what I do.
I can just imagine you sat there looking at the twinkly lights with the holiday on in the background, a glass of red or a mulled wine, just smiling.
Yeah, with my Christmas candle on.
And your Christmas jumper.
Oh, yeah. So when you go back after New Year, it can be stressful. Like, you've got to get back into the swing of things, early mornings, getting up, working all day when you've not done a lot. It's hard, so don't make it more stressful for yourself by leaving your recruitment till then and thinking, bugger, I wish I'd done that last year.
And that's why January is a sad month, because there's no build-up. What are we looking forward to? Easter. You've got all the excitement of Christmas, which, you have a lot of things. You've got Halloween, bonfire night, and then Christmas in a 3-month period. And you come back after Christmas, after all these festivities. You've just got January, which is usually a 5-week month. I mean, I was born in January, which is the only thing that makes it positive.
Yes.
But and then you've got February looming. And March is like at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, but them 2 months are hard. Like, it's dark still at night. You don't see any daylight. It's dark. The weather's pretty rubbish. You don't have a lot of money in January because you've spent it all over Christmas. So it's tough. So don't make it tougher for yourself.
Yeah. Make something exciting happen and come back to exciting candidates to talk to about exciting opportunities, to have exciting interviews, to make exciting offers for new team members.
I love it.
and then maybe practice being proactive now. So then proactivity, like Vicky said, I think previously, builds you in that time to make the right recruitment choices. If you think about it, in consideration with the changes that Labour are making to employment guidelines and employment law in terms of the 2-year period. You need to make the right decisions. You cannot just hire this person and hope for the best. You won't be able to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's more important than ever, isn't it?
To give yourself the time.
Make the right choices.
Which means be proactive. So practice now over the festive period.
Yes.
You'll thank us for it in January, and then you'll just have a proactive process to continue with for forever.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I'd love clients to be a little bit more proactive.
Just a small amount.
Just a small amount. But we will work quick for you. We will, if you needed someone yesterday, we will work as quickly as we can. But recruitment is an unpredictable sector.
Yes, because our product is people.
Yes, so we can't control that fully. We can do our best to buffer that and use the skills that we have to try and stop that happening as much as possible, but we aren't miracle workers and we can't control people, unfortunately.
No, we've not figured out how to do that yet. If we were selling tables
are tables.
Tables are tables. Unless someone's taking it apart or bashing it up, it's always going to be a table, which makes it easier to deal with. But when you're dealing with people that are very unpredictable, and you're not in control of what happens to them, all the choices that they make, slightly less predictable. And then I suppose to tie it all up nicely, so you've got the time to make the right hires. That'll be nice for onboarding processes. The rest of your team will thank you. It will reduce pressure, like Vicky said, but it also will reduce costs.
Yeah,
because it costs. You hire the right people, and you look after those people, and they stay with you. Costs you less than making the wrong decisions and having to keep recruiting. That's more expensive. We get paid more.
Yes.
You spend more. So
yeah, which we don't really want that for you. We want you to make the right decision the first time. So yeah.
So then we are only genuinely helping you with growth. We're not helping you fix problems because you've made bad choices, which we will do. You know, we've got your back. But if you do listen to our advice, because we do know a thing or two about it, it's coming up to my 18th year anniversary in recruitment.
No way.
When's
in January?
Yeah.
Wow, 18 years.
You know what? Thinking about it, I started my first ever recruitment job.
On your birthday?
In January, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, so I was looking for a job.
Oh, so you did the same as me? Yeah. There we go. It works.
It'll save you money. It'll increase productivity, customer service levels, reduce absence, increase employee happiness. And who doesn't want all those things?
Yeah, exactly. Just touching on the cost point, even if you wanted to do it yourself and you didn't go through us, it will still reduce your cost, because when you get new starters in, it costs money to get them in, like all the paperwork that your HR team have to do, setting them up on the laptops, getting them uniform and everything like that, which is a cost to your business. Oh my God,
they might need a car or a van.
Yeah.
They might need equipment, phones.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you don't choose to use a recruiter and decide to do it yourself, it will still save you money by getting it right the first time.
Yes. Very good. Okay. Anything else you think we should add?
No, I think we've covered it all off.
If you have any questions about it, me and Vicky will be more than happy to help you. Message either one of us, Vicky Taylor or Laura Leyland, on LinkedIn, Google Fresh Perspective. Give us a ring. We're more than happy to have a no strings attached conversation with you, either over LinkedIn or on a call. And if we can help you do it yourselves, we will. We absolutely we offer that. We offer recruitment training. If you need us to do it for you and support you in that way, we'd be absolutely delighted to help you. Hopefully, you after listening to this podcast, you know that we'd be the right choice for a recruitment partner. But equally, if you just wanted a little bit of advice and we can easily help you, then please get in touch with us.
Yes, that'd be lovely.
And also, whilst we're asking for things,
we don't ask for much.
Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow the podcast, leave us a review, buy tickets for the Freshies Awards.
Yeah.
There are non-profit awards. Our quinquennial event next year, which is half a decade. I Googled it.
I love that word.
It's very Hunger Games-esque.
Yes, it is. And I love the Hunger Games. Quinquennial.
Well, I thought there has to be a more interesting. So it's like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be more of an interesting word than half a decade, like your 5-year point. So I Googled it, and quinquennial is one of the words, and I quite like it.
I do, because it's a big achievement, that 5 years of doing something. Like, it obviously works, and
Exactly.
we've got to 5 years, and it's going to be, gets better every year.
It does, if we do say so ourselves. So we raised 20 grand this year on our 4th year of doing it. We want to do something similar next year. We went live with nominations last Friday, the 1st of November. If you go to the website, there's a page for the freshies, and you can get the nomination link on the website and nominate your favourite people for an award.
Yeah, we've got loads of nominations already.
Spreading the Christmas cheer in November.
Yeah, because when you nominate someone, they get an email straight away, pretty much, saying, you have been nominated. So maybe if someone's feeling a bit down today, just go and nominate them for an award. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That popping into your inbox. So do a good deed today and go and nominate someone for a freshie.
Perfect. Look at that. You've got your good deeds sorted, and you've got some top tips on on recruiting right now.
What more could you want?
That's Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Well, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.